Canelo next.
Yes.
Fight fans all over the world.
Let's go. Canelo, come on.
What? Terence Crawford and Turki call out Canelo Alvarez. Listen, Canelo Alvarez this weekend just, put on a masterful performance against Berlanga, retaining his titles. Now, Canelo Alvarez, his comments are, I would say, response to Turki Al-Sheikh and Terence Crawford calling him out on social media, was no comment. That was at the post-fight press conference after this fight versus Berlanga. And you know, Canelo always takes the stance of, hey man, I want to spend some time with my family. Because remember, when these guys go into training camp, they're away from their family and loved ones. They're only focusing on training and getting ready for the fight. So once the fight is over, they're ready to spend some time with their family and loved ones. And that's kind of why you see Canelo Alvarez, his daughter gave him the little gift while he was on the stage at the weigh-in. You know, she missed her dad and she hasn't been around him. They are strict on, you know, separating themselves from everything and preparing for a fight, especially in these fights that are of high magnitude. And Canelo Alvarez, this level of fighting is totally different, you know. So Canelo Alvarez always takes the stance of, hey man, let me spend some time with my family and then, you know, we'll address what's going on next in my career. So when they asked that question and he said no comment, to me, that doesn't mean that it's a staunch no. That means that, hey, look, it could be a possibility, but I don't want to think about that right now. I want to go over my pros and cons with my team, and we'll revisit that later. Now, this is the thing. Canelo Alvarez has options. You know what I'm saying? And his options are different from Terence Crawford. Not saying that Terence Crawford doesn't have any options. Now, look, I'm a Terence Crawford fan. He says he wants to fight Canelo. Hey, more power to you. I really feel like Crawford has other options at 154, even at 160. Canelo Alvarez is not the kind of guy that you just, you know, tell him, hey, look, you try to give him an ultimatum to fight you or offer him something to fight you, because he's the type of guy that does the choosing. So you have to be chosen basically by Canelo in order to fight him. Listen, now we've seen Canelo fight a lot of people that we didn't want to see him fight or lackluster to the fans, and Canelo Alvarez continues to get paid a lot of money for those fights. That's why his options are a lot different from other fighters. Now, Terence Crawford, he can make some fights happen. It's some fights that's good for him at 54. He won't make the type of money that he would make fighting Canelo Alvarez, but he could still make some decent money. And the thing to remember about both fighters is that they are at a tapering point in their career where they're tapering off and they're headed closer to retirement than a longevity in the sport. Terence Crawford, his age, Canelo Alvarez, his number of fights, in combination with his age in the sport. He's not as old as Terence Crawford, but he's had a lot of fights. And so, you know, both these guys should be tapering off their career and kind of putting finishing touches on their legacy. So, but Canelo Alvarez, he says he's not worried about legacy, which, I mean, you know, it is what it is at this point for him. He's you know, reached some milestones in his career, as well as Terence Crawford, but Terence Crawford just has not garnered the attention that Canelo Alvarez has. So, Terence Crawford, you know, hey, Tim Tszyu is about to fight for a title. whether he gets that title or not, whoever wins out of that fight, Crawford could go after to fight. It would be a unification. Also, he has a fight staring him in the face right now that could be about to go to purse bid in Fundora, which is also a unification. So, he has options that, he still can make decent money, and they still are considered big fights. They're championship level fights, unification fights, which is, a part of legacy. So he say he's looking for fights for money or legacy. So, those fights will offer him one or the other, or, a culmination of the two. Not as much as he would make with Canelo, but still decent money for the sport that he's been able to garner this far. Canelo Alvarez, man, he talks like he really wants to rematch Bivol. He's probably waiting to see what's going to happen with this fight between, Bivol's about to fight for undisputed at 175. So he's probably kind of waiting for that fight to clear before he makes a decision. Now, and Terence Crawford is waiting to see what Canelo is going to do, before he makes a decision versus Fundora. This is probably the case. So, man, the thing that I would hate to see for Terence Crawford as a Crawford fan is him waiting around for a fantasy fight and miss out on other opportunities. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's why I don't feel that he doesn't need a Canelo fight. He probably wants it more than anything. But the only reason I would think that he would need a Canelo fight is if he was going to be in the sport for the next 10 years fighting at the highest level. If he's not going to fight at the highest level in the sport in the next 10 years, for the next 10 years, I really don't think that he needs the Canelo fight. You just need a couple more fights to finish off your career, put some touches on your legacy, and make you some money. To me, and I'm nobody, that's nobody, but I'm just saying as a fan, you know what I'm saying? But hey, if he wants that Canelo fight, like I say, Canelo is the type of fighter that he chooses you. Crawford would need to do something in order to be chosen. And that would be a feat like knock out Jermell Charlo, which Canelo Alvarez wasn't able to do. Can Crawford knock out Jermell Charlo? Hey, man, that is a tough feat for anybody. And I'm not sure with, I'm just being honest, even as a Crawford fan, Madrimov, that fight between him and Crawford, would you look at Madrimov and then say, okay, well, all he has to do is knock out Jermell Charlo? No. It's still a tall feat. Can he outbox Jermell Charlo? That would be a tall feat. So, I'm not sure what all of this would mean for Crawford going elsewhere, but as far as the Canelo fight, you have to do something to be chosen. And that's something along the lines that he will have to do. So, I just don't think as a fan of Terence Crawford that he should wait around for this fight and miss out on other opportunities. But hey, Crawford knows what he wants. And should he go after it? Of course. If he has goals or hopes, aspirations, dreams, still as a boxer, those are the type of things that keeps, a person that's competing in sports. That's what keeps them on the edge. That's what keeps them, still hungry, going after the dreams that they have still. You know what I'm saying? Versus saying, oh, well, I just fight Joe Blow just for this amount of money. He probably won't get up for that and could end up slipping, you know what I'm saying, losing a fight to somebody that, that doesn't have a name, but that's a tough out, So, should he pursue his dreams? Of course, man. If that's what he wants to do, just me personally, I think that he could miss out on some opportunities just waiting around for a shot at a guy that has shown that he doesn't have a lot of interest, but he has a lot of other options. But that's just what I think about it. What do you all think about the Terence Crawford versus Canelo fight? What do you think about Turki Al-Sheikh and Crawford calling out Canelo on social media? And what is your take on Canelo Alvarez saying no comment as a response, in his post-fight conference? This is Daddy P with Slap Happy Gorilla. Like, hate, comment, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon so you can be notified every time it go down. This is Daddy P, and I'm outie.